Thank you, Bex, for sharing your time with us today. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your role here at Smart Parking?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm 36 and I'm a mum, and I'm Smart Parking's National Sales Manager. So I spend my time going up and down the country and visiting our clients and new ones and any potentials and everything like that.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you've ended up being in the IT industry?
Well, I think I've ended up sort of falling into it. Gradually, as the parking industry has changed from being sort of mechanical and clunky, it's evolved into IT. So everything that we're dealing with now is based around technology that's real-time data, smart. It's not back in the days where you have a man in a booth taking a manual payment or anything like that. So that's, I guess, how I've ended up here by default almost. It's just over the last 10 years it's now become heavily IT based.
Right. And if you had any advice for anybody that wanted to get into the industry, what advice would you give them?
The last company, Automated Solutions, that I worked with, I worked alongside Andrew Walker, who was hugely knowledgeable in the industry. And I was lucky enough to work next to him for 10 years, so I basically learned everything I possibly could off him, which has put me in a position now in the New Zealand parking market to really excel. And it's a tiny, tiny market. So I'm excited about that. So if anybody is looking to do something, is to make sure that they align themselves with someone that has a huge amount of knowledge in their field and act like a sponge and try and absorb it all.
So would you say that he acted maybe a bit like a mentor to you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And has that brought you into the senior role that you...
Yes, definitely. When I started with Automated Solutions, I was in a junior role, obviously 10 years ago, and I was sort of, it was more of a PA role as well, supporting Andrew. And so that's now I'm National Sales Manager for a global parking company. You know, I couldn't really thank him enough, so it's been fantastic. What we're doing moving forward is we're running a trial at the moment in the UK, and we have 150 bays installed with our sensor, and this is for RFID for mobility parking. A mobility vehicle might have an RFID tag in their car, and it will sync or link or talk to, if you like, the sensor in the ground. And should someone park in that spot that's not allowed to, like an everyday parker without the mobility tag, then the parking warden will get a notification directly to their handheld or smartphone or tough pad, whatever they want to use. So that's something that we're strongly working on. It is in the really sort of early stages of development, but I can see that being very successful.
And this is upcoming now?
Yeah, right now. And it's not only for mobility, but it's for everything. It's for permit parking. You know, we have major issues in Auckland. Actually, you know, we have our huge rugby stadium in a suburb. You know, so permit parking becomes absolutely necessary. And if we can automate it, then it's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Who are the leaders in that space, would you say?
That's actually the smaller towns have adopted it initially. So you've got Taupo and Rotorua and Hamilton. We've just done an end-to-end solution for New Plymouth. And what they've seen in New Plymouth is that their clients are obviously directed to a park. They can pay for their parking, but the enforcement side of it, they can issue a ticket in under 30 seconds. Now it seems horrible of me to say, you know, because it's not really about enforcement, but by doing this, we create churn, and therefore we create more foot traffic and people going into the retailers.
Right.
So these are the reasons why we need paid parking. And you have sort of two sides of the ledger. Eventually you'll see, you know, compliance coming up and enforcement going down, because it's just so easy to pay for parking. You can do it on your phone, you know, your phone in your pocket virtually becomes a virtual pay and display machine. So you can be sitting at the hairdressers and you get a text message saying, your parking is going to run out in 10 minutes. Do you want to, you know, top up?
Right.
It's like, yeah, sure I do. I don't want to go out with foils in my hair. Yeah. So, you know, so it's really easy. So when we put in these smart solutions that Smart Parking have, it's the end user, whilst they have this negative sort of perception around parking, it's only because you have to pay for it or get ticketed, but they don't realise that we need paid parking, otherwise you couldn't find a car park. People would just park there all day for free. So nobody would get a car park. So yeah, that's the technology in a nutshell, I suppose.
Thank you, Bex, for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you for placing me with smart parking. I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, I see the company going really far, and me going really far within the company.
Fantastic. Thanks for giving us the time.